What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and we got some more stuff revealed from Infinite Forbidden tonight. And of all things, we got Drytron support. So from what I'm seeing on Twitter, I haven't seen the actual effects yet or anything, but I've heard that it's not good. And personally, I'm kind of glad for that. I think that Drytron is very unfun to play against, really, no matter the variant, and I just don't really like the deck, especially because I have a really annoying friend with it. And so, hey, if this ends up being unplayable pack filler, then that's fine by me, but I don't want to bash it too early. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So we start off with Drytron New 2. It is a level 1 light machine with 2000 attack and 0 defense, and it must be special summoned by a card effect, of course, like the rest of the Drytrons. You can only use each effect once per turn. You cannot ritual summon monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effects, except machine monsters. If there's a Drytron card in the field, you can special it from hand or grave, but banish when it leaves the field. And if it's special summoned, you can add a Drytron from deck to hand, except Drytron New 2. So, wow. Literally, this thing is a thin hair keeping this card from being absolutely ridiculously busted. So I get that they're trying to like make a Drytron like stay within its own archetype a bit more, but they kind of should have thought about that ages ago when they made Medonis able to summon literally any ritual monster instead of just machines. So I feel like it's a little too late for that. It's not bad if you're trying to play like a more OTK pure style of Drytron. Like, it's insane if you're playing something like that, but the problem is pure Drytron isn't great. Next up, they have a new ritual monster called Drytron Medonis Alpha Draconids. It is a level 12 light machine with 5,000 attack and defense instead of the typical 4,000, and you can ritual summon it with Medonis Drytron. Other Drytron monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Up to twice per turn when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can banish Drytron monsters from your graveyard's total attack equal or exceed that monster's original attack, and negate the activation and destroy that monster. If this ritual summon card you control is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon one ritual monster with 4,000 attack from your hand or deck, and this is treated as a ritual summon. So, unironically, this is actually a really good boss monster. It gives great protection that flows really well with both Quadrantid's and Draconids protection, with the former being unable to be targeted by back row, and the latter being untargetable by monster effects, respectively. So adding the destruction protection is also really good. And then the twice per turn monster negate and destroy is pretty cool. The main issue is that you don't necessarily want to always be banishing your Drytrons. That's why Draconids' effect is still a little iffy, because even though it's a good effect, that does hurt your follow-up, so you really only do want to do it with like extra copies. But I really like the floating, because if it's just destroyed period by the opponent by battle or card effect, if they somehow punch over this with 5,000 attack, you can tag out into either of them, with the Draconids having a really good removal effect, and even Quadrantid's having a really good on-summon bounce for a bunch of back row, which can be really good against like Labyrinth, for example. Big caveat, of course, being that he has 5,000 attack, which, I mean, it's pretty bloated, so 5,000 attack seems a little reasonable, but it means you have to commit 3 Drytron names just to summon this, which overall makes it a little bit less consistent to get out. Finally, we have the new trap card, and it is Aurora Drytron. Hey, let's go! It is a continuous trap that says you can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If a Drytron card becomes banished, you contribute a Drytron to target up to 2 of your banished Drytrons and add them to your hand. And you can reveal a Medonis Drytron in your hand to ritual summon a machine ritual from your hand or grave by attributing machines from your hand or field whose attack equal or exceed that monster's. This is far from the worst archetypal trap card they could have gotten. I mean, I see what they're trying to do with the first effect, making Draconids and Alpha Draconids have like a little bit less of a restriction, but at that point it feels a little bit more consistent to just play Drytron Beta, which isn't a good card, keep in mind. And then this, I mean, what necessarily are you doing with this other than exactly Quadrantid's that you're not already achieving super early by just having Alpha Draconids die, or even Quadrantid's tags out in Draconids, I'm pretty sure, so there is not really too much of a reason to play this, in my opinion. I think they just have better options that can go, especially when it comes to searching. So what are my overall thoughts on this new Drytron support? Definitely underwhelming, of course, because they are trying to restrict you more into the machine playstyle, which Drytron's literally the exact opposite. They want to like kind of freely do whatever they want. It's like Fluffle being locked into fusions, or if Six Sam for some reason was locked into warriors or something. Like, you don't really get what the deck's actual end goal is. It feels like they're trying to be like, hey, look at this cool new stuff, and it's like the old stuff we had was cool anyway. We don't want it. Granted, the Drytron New 2 main deck monster is kind of insane as a whole. The big issue, of course, locking you into only machines. Again, definitely going to be super cracked in like a more pure Drytron deck if you're really focused on that and you just want to like mess around or something with your friends. Drytron Alpha Draconids, if he had only 4,000 attack, would definitely be a super cracked boss monster, but it's not amazing that it has the 5,000 because you have to commit so many resources to it. And I think the trap card, even though the Aurora shoutout is super appreciated, Konami, it's not a great card, I'm gonna be real. There's just so much more you can do, especially when you're searching. TLDR, definitely not gonna see play in any like actually competitive Drytron variants, similar to the last Drytron card, the Earth's Arctic Drytron one. And I think that's cool, considering that the only people that want to play these are like the casual variants of Drytron, and those people aren't playing the super toxic stuff anyway, most likely. So good for them. Shame on you Drytron players that are playing toxic, nasty floodgates, thinking that this would be healthy. But with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll put this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if this content wants to like it, like the rest of my review series, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're already 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Not to mention it supports your channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also be sure to turn on notifications. Also, to support directly, we're getting some awesome t-shirt merchandise in the process. Check out Tapio cards in the link down below. Use code Aurora5 for 5% off your purchase at checkout, and support me financially. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.